I'm my favorite shark. Actually, on Shark Tank, it's only the last shark I did a deal with, probably.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna take that one. Number three. If you had to pitch anything other than Fubu on Shark Tank, what would you choose?
It would be some form of biohacking or longevity type of concept. It would be an education on how to make yourself healthier, because today's AI, if you live the next 5 years, if you really want to do it, you can actually live to 110 healthy.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, there's a tip. You heard it. Number four. This one's not serious, though. If you could have one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One meal for the rest of my life, what would it be? Ooh, it'd probably be a ribeye.
Come on. Anybody love ribeye in here?
You see ribeye every day.
That's it, man. That's it. That's not a bad choice, actually.
Protein, yeah.
Protein, man. Hey, honestly, it's been great to have you. All day long, we've been talking about just surging our lives God's way, how to make just massive kingdom impact in our business, our work, our skills, our talents. And I can't think of a better person to talk to about this stuff than you. And so, man, let's jump right in.
All right, let's get into it.
All right. So my first question to you is, entrepreneurship it has different seasons of uncertainty.
It does.
Right? And so I want to ask you, how have you learned to trust God when the future felt maybe unclear or just seemed a little overwhelming in that season?
I think that, I actually went to Catholic school up until I was in seventh grade. And so I started off school as a man of faith, a young boy of faith. And I think that what God does is He really tells you everything you need to do, but it's just we allow the distractions to happen. When you as a child, you have this unfiltered imagination, and He always tells you exactly where to go. I think that what we don't learn to do is trust our gut. And as an entrepreneur, nobody else is generally going to get your vision. If everybody got your vision, there would be no place for you.
Yeah.
And I think that what God does is He clears the path out of your way if you're willing to put in the work, put in the effort, and have faith. And that is what faith is. You see, I want to get into AI in a minute, and I want to share something about AI. AI is going to change everything in this world. But one thing AI couldn't do is AI could tell the Wright brothers after they learned how to fly, it can tell them everything about what they've done and how to fix what they have already established.
Yeah.
But AI couldn't give them faith to dream, to fly. And the thing that makes us imperfect is what makes us perfect.
Yeah.
The ability to have faith, the ability to see the unknown and keep traveling down that path. And the only thing that's going to lead you down that path and secure you from the devil is God.
Yeah. What y'all think of that? So, one of the things that I want to, it's not on here, but you talked about trusting your gut. And when I think about gut, there's kind of that internal knowing, that conscience that I think also God leads.
That's a direct phone line right to your belly button. And, I always tell people that out of my life, I've been through so many different seasons. And a lot of times I didn't trust my gut. Why? Well, my ego. And we all know the word is edging God out, right? Is ego, right? And a lot of times I say, well, I should do it. I'm Daymon John. I should do it. I have the money. I should do it. It's so easy. I should do it. I trust the way that person looks. I trust that thing on paper. And I didn't trust my gut. And the 10 times that I lost because of not trusting my gut. 8 times purely lost. And even the 2 times that I probably won, I said to myself, I don't feel good about it. But we don't trust our gut. We allow other people to set goals for us. Tell us, you can't do that. You should do that. You're going to embarrass yourself. You're going to embarrass us. And we let people take us off the path of what we really believe in.
Come on, man. Come on. I think that's so true. And I've seen it in so many of my own friends' lives and people that I've watched and admired from a distance, that many times we just won't take that step of faith because we don't trust that God in us too, that ability. So let me ask you this. What was your favorite Shark Tank product that you've invested in? Because you've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah. My favorite Shark Tank product, I'm proud to say, is the #1 product in Shark Tank history out of all 50 versions of Shark Tank around the world. I have the top product in Shark Tank history. So if you ever, you've interviewed Robert.
I have.
If you ever see those other underachievers, remind them that I said that.
All right.
And
Yeah.
probably 20% of the people in here have it on. It's called Bombas socks.
Wow, yeah. I remember that.
Bombas socks. They will do $2.2 billion this year. Now, I have to say one thing. We couldn't care less about the braggadocious aspect of the money I do, because I get to brag about my sharks.
Yeah.
But they will now have accomplished giving away over 200 million units of clothes to those in need.
Come on.
Um,
Talk about making kingdom impact in business.
and that's because of the people in this room who have more than the people who believe in it. You see, the people who believe in what the mission of Bombas is they go, listen, you're making socks, but you're not giving anything to anybody else. And you are, but you are helping people. So what happens today in the world of business is today people want to know not only what did you do for them, what did you do for somebody else? So I'll sit at dinner with my daughter who may work in a pizza parlor, going through college, and she'll say, Dad, when's the last time you gave? Well, I gave a lot of money end of the year. End of the year. When I bought this, I stopped human trafficking. When I bought this, I helped protect a little furry friend of ours who couldn't protect themselves. When I bought this, I gave to the sea turtles, and when I bought this, somebody in need got a pair of socks. And by the way, for Christmas and birthdays, I'm buying all my friends Bombas socks to let them know that they're helping people. And that's exactly why Bombas socks is powerful, because everybody in this room wants to know who are they buying from and what's their story.
Wow, that's amazing. That's actually amazing, because now, did you only invest in stuff that have that connection? I mean, if it's still got to be a great product, it's still got to make you money. You are a shark after all.
I 100% I do invest in people that have a certain type of components. Yes, there has to be a social component. The social component doesn't have to be right there at front and center, but I need to know that they're finding a way to pay it back and pay it forward at the same time.
So it makes me wonder, you're a baller now. I mean, you're just crushing it. And we all know it. We see it.
Right.
We've watched your career. But that wasn't always the case. You didn't start that way. And so I was, and I didn't know why this eluded me, but you turned $40 into FUBU.
Yeah.
$40.
Yeah.
Right? And you built it into a $6 billion brand. That's wow. I mean, isn't that incredible? $40, $6 billion brand. But there's a lot of people here that are chasing dreams. They maybe they're not, in that position, but they have a dream, a passion, desire. What advice would you give to someone who's chasing that type of success?
Don't let anybody, intimidate you. It sounds big what I did. It's usually how most entrepreneurs win. You see, we were raised thinking that you need money to make money and all those type of things. I'm a very simple man. I barely finished high school, and the only thing I did notable in regular school is I liked 7th grade so much I took it twice. I don't have a famous last name. I do have a famous last name, but if I call Elton John and tell him I'm his son, he's not going to believe me for various reasons. So I got to tell you, don't let the world intimidate you. You see, lotto winners and athletes are bankrupt 3 years after either leaving the league or winning the lotto. They don't know how to use a tool of money. Forbes' top wealthiest 1,000 people in the world, 65% of them are self-made men and women. That's like the men and women in this room. Financial intelligence is critical, but think about the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and the Mellons. They have done great things for this country, and their foundations do, but where are their kids? Their kids are great, they're trust fund baby, but they don't know how money works, right? So why don't they own the Teslas and the Instagram and the Facebooks of the world? Because the first generation makes it, the second enjoys it, and the third will destroy it. And if they're going to destroy it...
Say that again for the people in the back.
The first generation makes it, the second will enjoy it, and the third will destroy it.
Wow.
And what does that mean? That means there's an opportunity for every single person in this room. That's what the greatest thing about this country is. It's not a caste system. You don't hand it down. You work for it.
Come on.
So with my mother, I grew up right next to JFK. And I remember the Concorde. I don't want to date myself, but the Concorde used to land there, and they used to shake the neighborhood. And I said to my mother one day, I said, Mom, how do men and women make such massive machines like this? And she was driving down the street with me. I was about 11 years old. She said, son, this car, this road, those buildings, that airplane. Every single thing you see in this world started with one person with one idea that took one action and had faith. And that's it. She said, tell me something that you can't create if you don't start it today in your head. I didn't have an answer for her. So every single person in this room can do it. Every single person in this room.
How many of y'all believe that? Come on.
So to answer your question, I didn't need $40. Before I even got to the $40, I'll tell you exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I took about a year, and at that time, I had the only asset I had was a phone, right? I promised myself that I was going to make 50 calls a day for 6 months, 50 calls a day to record labels, to whatever manufacturers to talk about the food idea. For 3 months, nobody would pick up my call. After 3 months, they started picking up my call, and they're like, "You're not going anywhere." Nope. And then they would say, "Hey, I don't have anything for you," but at dinner, I met somebody who may have something for you. I started 50 calls a day. My buddy Dave from Bombas, who started Bombas, you know what he did? He found that he had 50,000 emails in his Gmail, in his base. He hit all 50,000 people, said, "I have an idea that the number one clothing need in the homeless shelters is socks. If I come out with a product and we give away, how many of you would support it?" 50% said, "Leave me alone, you're spamming me," whatever the case is. Other 50% said, "I'm interested." And 5 other people said, "I'm your ex-girlfriend, don't ever email me again." So it's not $40, but I'll tell you, the story of $40 is Good Friday, 1989. I had made hats the night before. The hats were like a ski cap with a tie on the top. I took $40 worth of fabric. I made 80 hats. And Good Friday, 3:15 in the afternoon, 42 degrees outside, 1989. I stood on the corner of the Coliseum Mall on 165th Street and Jamaica Avenue. And in that 1 hour, absolutely, shout out to Jamaica. Q Burrow, get that money. Now, I sold $800 worth of hats in 1 hour.
Wow.
And that's how I started.
Yeah.
I remember counting that money. It was like, I said to myself, I made this with my own hands. It was my ability to communicate the value of this to the customers. I made $800. I'm never going to work with anybody ever again for the rest of my life. And I worked at Red Lobster for 5 years after that. $40.
Yeah. And so, man, what I hear a little bit of grit. I hear a little bit of hustle. I hear a little bit of do what it takes. Are you looking for that when you're looking at an investor, you're looking for somebody to partner with? What are some of those key things you're looking at?
The key things when you're looking at people to invest are people that have failed a good amount of times. If you come and tell me on Shark Tank how you did this and then you did this and then you did this, well, you don't need me. Real entrepreneurs can smell other entrepreneurs. It's like somebody here who may be a life-saving nurse. A nurse comes in after 2 years talking crap. You'd be like, "Oh yeah, all right, honey, let's see what you can go through." But we can smell it. It's act, learn, and then repeat, right? So you got to tell me your story. And what did you learn from that story? And then you got to tell me the passion on why you want to do it and why you're the person to do it, right? If you can't answer these questions, why me, why now, and why this, then you're of no value. You have to answer those questions. And then I want to know that you're going to put in the work, you're going to do the homework. When an entrepreneur tells you a story, an amazing entrepreneur, they tell you a story how the train's leaving the station with or without you. They want you on that train, but it's leaving without you. It's really similar to an infomercial. The reason why infomercials work so great is they put all of that compelling stuff in a story. Hi, I'm Daymon John, and I realized that this was a pain in my butt. And I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. So I was working for 10 years on this better way, and I failed at this, and this, and now I finally came up to this better way. And by the way, I'm not only going to sell you one better way for $5, I'm going to sell you 2 better ways for $5, and if you don't like it, I'm going to return your money. It is the same way that any entrepreneurship, sells to you. I figured out a problem that existed. I'm the one qualified to solve it. And if you invest in it, I'm going to give you way more than you eat the value of it because I understand you're taking a chance on me. And if not, I'll figure out a way to get out of it.
Wow. That's so good. Thinking about you talking and how you frame, especially the side of it that helps people. You've been kind of coined the people shark.
Yeah.
Right, and mainly because you've made the statement. I think we even heard it in the video intro. It says we invest in people we relate to. So why is that important? Why does that matter?
Because every single time that I have failed with partners, whether it is my personal life, in business or in Shark Tank, it's partners that I could not communicate with. We're still pack animals, and communication is the thing that's going to separate us from anything else ever. And a partner that I couldn't communicate with, we would never solve a problem. And I can only communicate with you if you're fascinating. I believe in the same things you believe in, right? So if we had 10 problems and we spoke one time, we're never going to solve those problems. We had 10 problems and we hung out 100 times. We're going to figure it out. It's the same in a marriage. It's the same in anything else. It's about communication. That is the only thing that separates us from the animals. I'm a basic guy. It's purely communication.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel that, that's what I look for in partners who are open, they're ready to learn. You see, this idea of an entrepreneur is this kind of hard charging, everybody's fired idea. It's crap.
Yeah.
A true entrepreneur is the most vulnerable person on the planet. A true entrepreneur walks into a room and goes, listen, I know a lot about this, but I don't know if I know how to ship it, deliver it, and I know you know a lot about that. How can I be of service to you? And if for some reason I help you, spend a couple of minutes with me.
Wow.
People want to get behind people like that. You walk in the room, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Well, you pretty good then.
Yeah, you got it together.
Yeah,
Did you have people like that in your life?
All the time. Life is a series of mentors. I had my first mentor besides my beautiful mother is a teacher who believed in a little dyslexic boy. I'm dyslexic. 8 of the 12 sharks are dyslexic.
Wait, really?
I
did not. Did you know that?
How many people in this room are dyslexic? Clap.
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
The rest of you are lying. 20% of this world is dyslexic. 7 presidents were dyslexic. 42% of entrepreneurs are dyslexic. Einstein was dyslexic.
My son, and he's probably my most brilliant of the bunch now, because he worked differently to work around those challenges. So you had people along the way that you went, hey, if it weren't for these people, these mentors, these coaches, and you learned to be
I learned. The most I learned from a guy who was a veteran who had a corner store. And I swept up his store for candy. But let me tell you something. It's going to be hard to get a hold of Daymon, John, Mark Cuban, and Barbara Corcoran to mentor you. But you have a small business running in a community for the last 20 years. You dealt with the same crap that the president of Ford and Pepsi have. You dealt with competition. You dealt with inflation. You dealt with every single thing. Financing, staff. And that's when you start. Your mentors are sitting right next to you in this room because they're like-minded people who decided when everybody else said, don't waste your time and go out on a Saturday to be around a bunch of people, you're wasting your time. Those people are home someplace. The people who are right next to you said absolutely no to everybody else. That happened to me. I came to a lot of this stuff, and by the way, I'm here to get motivated as well. I have a lot of things to do on Saturday, but I wanted to be here to sit next to Sean and a lot of people. I heard this all the time when I was in the hood. Yo, why you going to that? You should never do that. And I used to say, aren't you a crackhead? You didn't think you were going to hear the word
I don't think I was going to
today.
hear that. Yeah. That's all good. Yeah. All right. That's good stuff. I said from the beginning, you're going to talk real, man. I love it, because it's true. There's so many excuses.